Well, how's it going today, folks? I'm Braap and welcome back to the Braap Shack. So today we finally got the big-sert kit in to fix the TTR 230 engine, and because it's just rinse and repeat 4 times over. I did the first 3, and now I'll real quick show you how to use these TIME-SERTs. These are a big-sert, but TIME-SERT is just a smaller version of it. So the same exact process applies. And I know a lot of people haven't used this product or probably don't know it exists. Everybody's heard of Healy Coil. Well, this is like Healy Coil's big brother, made by a different company. They're really good, and if anybody needs to know where to get them, there's a Canadian dealer in Ontario, and then the main plant is in, I think, Pennsylvania or something like that. Just leave a comment and ask, and I'll give you a link or whatever, steer you in the right direction. But anyway, I did the first 3, and let's take a look at those, and then we'll do the 4th one, and we'll throw this engine back together. So here's what they look like installed. See the red bead from the Loctite that the instructions say to use. There's 1, there's 2. This one was a little different because of that oil hole right there, so I had to go down farther, but it's in there. And now we're about to do that guy right there. So I'll set you up. And I mean, there's lots of places where this process is a lot easier. In my case here, because we're working on an engine that we don't plan on opening, we're keeping all the shavings out. So first things first, take your clean rag, make sure it's not covered in fucking shavings from the last hole. Get it right in the bore there, right in the hole. Make sure it's over covered. Okay. Now, just to be sure, take any type of something. Check how deep your hole is before it bottoms out. Okay, check it on the bit. I made a blue line for the other ones to know not to drill past there, and I've been stopping a little shy of it because we don't actually need to go that deep, but we need to make sure. These are kind of a one-shot deal, so make sure you get it right the first time. So just double check. So now what I like to do, take some Vaseline, cover your bit in Vaseline, get the fucking journals or whatever the fuck you want to call them, get them fucking covered in shit. Take some Vaseline. This hole has a bottom, so shavings aren't going down into the engine, but still, just the Vaseline stops them from flying around. They just stick where they come out. Go on a low speed, that way the shavings are big. Allow the drill to do all the work so that you got nice big shavings. You'll see what I mean in a second here. Make sure you're nice and fucking square. Are you seeing that? 90% of the shavings are right there, and the rest pop out of the hole with the Vaseline and are right there. Yeah. It's actually a trick I learned watching a YouTube channel called Carol Fixes All. It's pretty funny. and he really knows lawnmower engines and that style, small engines and all that type of equipment. It's funny as hell and very informative. So, oh yeah, I didn't even show you. Here's the TIME-SERT kit. Well, big-sert. But like I said, big-sert is just a larger version of a TIME-SERT. The bit on the drill come in this kit. It was supplied. And take a look at what you get. You get in the kit that I got, come with 5 big-serts. And you see down inside the hole, the threads aren't fully formed. So when you slide the installation tool into it, it doesn't stick out the bottom. And then once the TIME-SERT or the big-sert bottoms out where you want it to go, then your installation tool will thread through, expanding the lower end of the big-sert, locking it into place. So the first thing we did was we drilled the hole. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to use the counter bore reamer, and that just gives it a shoulder to stop the big-sert so that this can start the expansion process. So first we do the counter bore, then we tap the threads, then we use the insert tool. So we pretty much got a nice clean hole there, but we're going to clean it out real good at the end. So this works properly. You got to make sure that you're nice and square to the hole. And this can't go too far. It will come to a point where it gets smooth, there's no more resistance, then you know it's not cutting anymore, it's bottomed out on the shoulder. You need to go to that point, because if you don't, your big-sert isn't going to sit flush with this surface. Now you see there, no more shavings coming out, got real smooth and easy. I see those, don't worry, I'm gonna get them. Now it's got a shoulder. So now we're gonna take our tap. And watch this again, all of our shavings are gonna be on this tap. Well, 90% of them anyway. Don't quote me on that number too. It's just a figure of speech. Most of them. Okay. Nice and easy. Make sure you're nice and square. Now I could probably tap, you know, a ½ inch of threads or so and call it good. But the kit says to tap until you bottom out in a hole that has a bottom. So and you see how this is getting pushed out the journals or the veins there? And watch, you'll see how much shavings are inside of it when this comes out. It's a really cool trick. We should be getting close. That's why I'm using a tiny ratchet too, just so that I'm not over torquing anything. No, come on, focus. There's all the shavings, most of them, embedded in the Vaseline, embedded in the bum cream. So now you're like, what about those shavings? I'll show you. One. Now we got to clean the threads real good because we got to use Loctite. So the Braap Shack fucking special. Break clean. Watch your eyes. Give her a couple goes at that. Put a little drop of oil on the installation tool, right on the tip, just a drop, and then thread it into the shoulder side. Should thread in fairly easy. As long as you get 3 or 4 threads, you're good. And see, it won't you won't thread it all the way through by hand because, like I said, the bottom half are partially formed. So once the shoulder hits the shoulder that I made, the big-sert will stop. You tighten this all the way through and it expands the big-sert, squishing itself into its hole. And once you're tightening, once it gets to the part where the threads are barely formed, it'll tighten up. And keep on going until it gives. And it'll get easier, and that means you're out the other side and it's done expanded. There it goes. See? Let me back this guy out of there. There you go. Brand new fucking threads. So, let's have a fucking quick peek here. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm gonna clean this engine real good, and just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna flush that case a couple times. And so I'll get cleaned up, and I'll get this BIG-SERT kit put away. It's quite expensive, so get that put away, and I'll flip this camera back on and we'll fucking throw this engine together. So yeah, until next time, have a gooder, folks.